and that would be Legendary Heroes. I actually quite enjoy this arc. I think it's a pretty fun adventure. It starts with Kaiba reprimanding the corporate ghouls that conspired with Pegasus, aka the Big Five. For whatever reason, he lets his guard down and lets them trick him into going into his virtual game. He should have known better. He believes it is safe because he created it, but obviously the Big Five made some modifications, and for whatever reason that didn't cross his mind. Come on, man, you're too smart for this. But I guess the episode wouldn't have been very fun if he was acting reasonably. It's a very cool virtual world. You get to walk around and see monsters. You can summon your own monsters to defeat threats. Obviously, the Big Five messed with it, and Kaiba gets captured and trapped in there. Mokuba escapes and goes off to the gang for help. Yugi, Joey, and Mokuba go into the virtual world to rescue him, while Tristan and Taya remain in the real world to keep an eye on things and to protect them. They do wonder, and the audience probably wonders as well, what would happen if they lost all of their life points in this game? Do they die in real life? Do they get their minds trapped in the game forever? Hopefully, they won't have to find out. But they fight off a horde of zombies, first trying conventional means, and then Joey remembers how he beat Bones and uses shield and sword to destroy them. But I gotta be honest, I'm still not entirely sure how having 0 attack points means that they don't come back, but whatever. They lose a few life points in the process, and they end up following this little fairy, which is very much like a video game. This entire arc feels a lot like a video game, and I enjoy video games, so I naturally have a ton of fun with it. They're trying to solve these problems and figure out ways to get from one place to another. I have a ton of fun with that. They see some Duel Monsters cards, but they cost way more points than they have earned, and they try to get across a sandstorm to get where they think Kaiba is, but realize that they need to ride these giant chickens to cross, so they have to enter some kind of dueling competition to win it against who is so obviously Mai. She's the champion of this gladiator dueling competition, but somehow they can't tell that it's her, even though it's insanely obvious. Joey volunteers for tribute and has to wear this weird pig costume for the duel, and they call him Senor Porky, which I've always found very funny. Him and Mai face off in this battle, and somehow neither one is able to tell who the other person is, but Joey finally realizes it when she plays Harpy Lady. Apparently that was the giveaway and not the way she looked and her voice and everything, even though she had a mask on. It should have been incredibly easy to tell. But Mai is able to stop her attack just in time, and she steals the chicken card and agrees to help them find Kaiba. Man, she is just so charming. Thousands of little kids fell for this chick back in the day, including yours truly. Joey blasts a sandstorm monster with red eyes, which is pretty fun. I enjoy all of the different obstacles these characters face, all of the monsters they have to defeat, the points they have to earn, unlocking stuff, working their way through mazes, and getting through all of these different levels. Again, very video game-esque, and they are now in the Labyrinth maze and being pursued by Labyrinth tanks, but Yugi is able to get them out of this situation with magical hats. Once again, magical hats saves his ass. How many times did that happen in this season? I love how these characters are thinking on their feet, using all of their different Duel Monsters cards to get out of these situations. We are also very lucky that they have the right cards, too. They find this little princess girl that looks just like Mokuba. Joey points that out. He's like, hey, Mokuba, this game made you into a chick. And then Mokuba's like, great, can it make you smart? Again, love the jabs in this show. It's also extra funny because the person who voices Mokuba is actually a woman, Tara Sands, and a 4Kids legend at that. They are able to defeat Gate Guardian with Black Skull Dragon, just like they did in the duel against Para and Dox, so that was pretty cool. And Dragon Nails, which raises its attack by 700. I could have sworn it was 300 before, but it is what it is. We finally see Kaiba again chained up and set to be the sacrifice for this mysterious mythic dragon. They also tease a second offering. The gang go off to the princess's palace and they find out about the offerings. The princess is set to be the second offering, and there is some kind of prophecy about a group of heroes that are designed to defeat the mythic dragon, and it's heavily implied that Yugi, Joey, and Mai are those heroes. And with that, they get these really cool outfits, except for Joey, who legitimately looks like a character in the Flintstones or something. Man, Joey is just getting totally shafted with the costumes they've been giving him in this episode, just making him the butt of the joke.
Traditional garb of our bravest national hero.
They fight off an army of monsters from the Castle of Dark Illusions. Yugi tries to use Dark Hole to destroy all of them. By the way, I think this is the first time we've seen Dark Hole or any kind of monster removal in general, at least mass monster removal. I guess we did see Tribute to the Doomed in a previous episode. But it's crazy that Yugi had Dark Hole and never used it in Duelist Kingdom. Maybe he just acquired it after Duelist Kingdom, but either way, it's a very powerful card that saw a ton of play in real life and was banned at times as well. But Armed Ninja stops Yugi from being able to use that Dark Hole, and they think the princess gets taken by that army, but it's actually Mokuba. They switched places, they switched outfits so that they would actually take Mokuba, thinking that it was the princess and Mokuba can try to rescue his brother. They use Time Wizard to bring a fossilized plane back to its original functional form, which I thought was pretty cool, although of course it lands on a time machine once again, even with the only 33% chance of doing that. I wonder what would have happened if it landed on a skull. Would they have just been stuck in there forever, or could they have tried again? Would they have just lost some life points and they could have tried again? I'm not sure, but luckily it lands on the time machine like it does almost every single time. Meanwhile, back in the real world, the goons are trying to break into the control room, and Tristan and Taya are doing everything they can to hold them off, but they're having a hard time doing so. Adding another layer of tension to this, a ticking clock element. The Time Wizard thing worked for the plane, and they head off for the castle, and there's some more monster destroying fun on their way there. The fairy dies, apparently. What the hell, man? That's really, really sad. Yugi gets pissed and turns into Yami Yugi. And I just love every single time that happens. It means that he is getting serious about what's going on. The plane catches on fire, so Yugi is once again able to think on his feet and use his Winged Dragon, Guardian of the Fortress, to save them. Mokuba is able to free Kaiba, and then Kaiba sicks a Blue Eyes on his captor, Witty Phantom, which is pretty badass. Witty Phantom, by the way, is another Duel Monsters card. Not a very good one, just a regular, vanilla, normal monster with pretty weak attack points, but that was a pretty cool scene. Kaiba is pissed Mokuba got Yugi and the gang to help. Dude, just be grateful for once. Yugi uses a Karibo Multiply Catapult Turtle combo to take out a bunch of bugs. Man, Karibo is really the ultimate Deus Ex Machina for Yugi. It can really do anything that he wants to get him out of a situation. The Blue Eyes poking its head through the portal was very funny. Like, hello there.
Hello there.
The gang meets up with Kaiba and Mokuba, and Kaiba immediately roasts Joey about his costume, which is, first of all, very on brand.
Worried. Joey, you look like an overgrown monkey in that outfit.
But also kind of warranted because the costume is pretty ridiculous. So as far as I'm concerned, that's a fair jab. The Big Five summons the mythical dragon without an offering, which is cheating, but of course they modified the game so that they can do essentially whatever they want to be able to defeat our heroes, and it's a creepy 5-headed dragon with each head being a different element. The gang faces off against this magnificent creature, and then we find out it is a dragon-only zone. So all of the duelists summon their respective best dragons. Kaiba summons Blue Eyes, Joey summons Red Eyes, Mai summons Harpy's Pet Dragon, and Yugi summons Curse of Dragon. It is all completely futile. And the big five with their dragon are able to take out Joey, Mai, and Mokuba. I think at the time we were supposed to think that the characters died. I doubt anyone actually believed that. But as always, it's interesting and fun to see how the characters will get out of this situation. Side note, but the five-headed dragon sounds like Draco from Ninja Turtles 2003, and some of the heads even kind of look like him. I'm guessing it's probably the same voice. After Mokuba goes down, Kaiba finally trusts Yugi and summons his Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. Yugi combines it with his Blackluster Soldier to form Dragon Master Knight. What a badass, chill-inducing moment, and what an awesome monster. It's Blackluster Soldier riding the Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. See what happens when the two best duelists in the world come together. It absorbs the powers of all of their defeated dragons and destroys Five-Headed Dragon. Awesome. And then we get the iconic Yugi and Kaiba falling shot from the intro of this season, and their friends are alive, of course, and the fairy is still alive too. Thank God. I would have been really pissed if we never saw her again. But I can't help but wonder what would have happened if they all got defeated by the dragon. I imagine all of their minds would have been stuck in this virtual world forever. Kaiba is dismissive of the group's help, of course. He's always so stubborn. I don't need any help. But he does give Yugi some credit. Yugi thinks they are friends, but Kaiba is grumpy. As always, he'll come around eventually. The gang is back just as the goons were breaking in. Perfect timing, of course. Again, this is a very fun arc. The concept is cool, the character banter is great, and I love me an adventure. This is a very fun adventure that felt very video game-esque with all of the obstacles they had to face and beating the different levels and finding their ways out of certain situations. So I have a ton of fun with this one. This is definitely one of my favorite mini filler arcs in this series.